Hey guys, what is up? Steven here, going to do a film breakdown on some of the things from the Chargers offensive line performance against the Pittsburgh Steelers from Sunday Night Football. I have 7 plays today that I really wanted to dive into, both to highlight some performances and also highlight some of the schematic things that the Chargers did both in the passing game and in the run game. Did some really cool things on both sides. Before I get started, I want to give a shout out to my guy Quest Designs. That's Quest 360 on Twitter. If you know him, you know that we have partnered with him. He has created a couple of stickers for us. They are amazing. We really love them. They're great quality. And I really wanted to shout him out because I know it is Christmas time coming up. The holidays are a great time to support your fellow Chargers fan. And, he is doing some great work. So I would definitely recommend checking out his site www.com or www.quest360.com. Excuse me. If you use the code guilty10, you get 10% off your first purchase. So that discount code again, guilty10, helps support Quest and it helps support our show. So please go check him out. All right. That being said, wanted to dive into, like I said, I have 7 plays, a couple of runs, a couple of passes, and really wanted to highlight some of these plays. Excuse me, wrong button. I always do that. A couple of plays that the Chargers did on Sunday in order to generate some more effectiveness in the run game and in the passing game. And in the run game in particular, one of the things that they did, they really dove headfirst into counter plays. They had done this a few times previously, but they ran at least 5 by my count. I'm going to highlight 3 of them here. A couple of different ways that they did them, a couple of different ways that they set them up, personnel packages that they ran to or ran them into. And then we'll have a couple plays just to marvel at Justin Herbert. Just dude is insane right now. But we'll start with the run game. On this first particular play, what you're going to see is a counter action, and they're going to set it up with a jet sweep. So I love the fact that they use a jet motion to really kind of set this up. This is obviously a way that it allows you to get more people on your side. It also allows them to set up some play action off of this kind of action. So it allows them to have more flexibility down the road. Okay, so what you're going to see is Matt Fyler, the left guard, of course, and Steven Anderson, the tight end, who is next to Rashawn Slater. They're going to pull across the formation. Okay, and that's really the key here. And the reason that we know this is a counter is the way that Austin Eckler fakes one way and then comes back the other way. And then we have 2 pullers. Really solid gain. I believe this was on first down. So diving into it, again, I will be getting some of Tyler's, fancy schmancy labeling and drawing stuff sooner or later. But just wanted to highlight this here first. So let's focus in on Matt Fyler first. He is the key puller, right? He's the one who kind of sets the tone. He has to clear the way for Steven Anderson. Otherwise, there's a traffic jam, and then Austin Eckler can't go anywhere. So we'll watch Matt Fyler first and foremost. Great job here, kicking out number 93, Joe Schobert, and really highlighting Matt Fyler's athletic ability, his ability as a puller. Okay, so one more time with Matt Fyler. Great job leading up the way and clearing out, like I said, clearing the way for Steven Anderson to come in and make a play. So Steven Anderson's responsibility here as the second puller, right? These pullers are responsible for the linebackers. Fyler gets 93, the first one. Steven Anderson gets the second one, 55, Mr. Devin Bush. So we'll keep an eye on 55 and Steven Anderson, again, who's next to Rashawn Slater. So Anderson, fantastic blocker, going to pull around, does a great job with Devin Bush, and does a really nice finish. Great job, Steven Anderson. The other person that I wanted to highlight here is actually Trey Mckitty. I know a lot of people have been very anxious, myself included, to see Trey Mckitty more involved at all in the game plan. So we saw him get his first catch yesterday, or on Sunday, excuse me. But really, he's making really big strides as a run blocker, right? Like that makes sense. That's the role that they drafted him to come in and play. We all expected it to start more early on in his career, but it is what it is. Now they're using him and they are seeing some really good results. So he is going to seal off the edge here, which is the third most important block. Again, if you want to go down the list, we can always do that on every single play, right? But Trey Mckitty has to seal off his assignment, and he's got to get his back to the gap. Like ideally, right? Like you have the last person on the line of scrimmage kind of setting the tone and turning his back to the sideline. Okay, that allows the two pullers to get up and around. If he gets blown up, then the play doesn't work. So we'll watch him here. He's going to block number 48. He's on the opposite side next to Storm Norton. Okay, so he's going to turn 48 around. And look at him continue to fight and fight and fight. And he seals 48 off at a really good level. Okay, we'll watch Trey Mckitty here. One more time. Just boom. Makes great contact. Great leverage, excuse me. Feet are always pumping. Love to see that. Again, making huge strides as a blocker immediately as a rookie. All right. So the next play here on this offensive breakdown, this is going to be one of the plays where Justin Herbert actually scrambles for a few yards. But I wanted to talk about how that came to be. So it's going to be a play action design. He wants to throw to Jalen Guyton on a deep out. Really like the way that they set this up. Decides not to pull the trigger and then runs. Love the way that he slides. He said on the Pat McAfee show earlier today, I'm recording this on Tuesday, he was on Pat McAfee and he said that he learned really quickly in the NFL that your life is a lot easier as a quarterback if you avoid contact. And so that's why he slides so early. Very smart guy, Justin Herbert. All right. So what I wanted to talk about here is specifically is Matt Fyler, who had himself a freaking day blocking Cam Hayward, who should be ejected, who should have been ejected and should be suspended. I will continue to say that. Anyways, watch Matt Fyler here, the left guard. He's really going to create this alleyway for Justin Herbert. Okay, so I really love this fantastic rep. You see all the perfect skills from what you want to see in your prototypical guard. Okay, so first things first, he's going to jump set onto Cam Hayward. Why do you jump set onto Cam Hayward? Because you want to get your hands on him early. You know that Cam Hayward is one of the best defensive tackles in the league, one of the best pass rushing defensive tackles in the league. You don't want to let him get ahead of steam. You want to take the steam to him. You know, Jeff Schwartz said this about Austin Eckler, who we will talk about later. As a blocker, a lot of the times, most of the times, ideally, you are the one making contact. You are the one taking it to the defense, right? Playing offensive line is a lot easier when you're run blocking than when you're pass blocking because you are going forward. You're not going backwards. Okay. So this is why you see a lot of players, specifically on the interior, jump set because it lets you be aggressive and get your hands on opposing defensive tackles early. So we see the jump set out of Matt Fyler, gets his hands onto Cam Hayward, does a fantastic job. Matt Fyler, of course, has earned the nickname Anchor, according to his, I think it was actually Cam Hayward who started this, because of his ability to anchor down and handle the bull rushes. So he jump sets, gets his hands on him, and then Cam is able to do what Cam does, and he's going to get some momentum going. And Matt Fyler anchors down right there, right? He takes 3 steps back, and he just sits. Incredible power. So impressive. Cam, like Cam does, he's a great player. He's going to try to work it around. And so Fyler stays attached and he's going to kind of run him out of the alleyway. And look at that lane that he creates for Justin Herbert. Herbert can throw the ball. He's got a great passing lane. Unfortunately, no one's open on this particular play, which I could have shown, the sideline angle. But great decision by Justin Herbert to escape, use this lane, and then ultimately slide for an easy gain. All starts with Matt Fyler. The next player I wanted to highlight on this particular play is Rashawn Slater. He didn't go against Alex Highsmith very often. I'm showing a couple of the reps that he did get on this breakdown. And I love this way. I love this play by Rashawn Slater. He's going up against a wide nine. And the way that he sets, first and foremost, he's actually helping Matt Fyler. He's staying connected to Matt Fyler so that he can go be aggressive. I love that. Secondly, he has to close this gap, and he knows that Justin Herbert is going to take a deep set because it's a play action pass. So what does he do? He's just going to run Alex Highsmith right by Justin Herbert, and he's just going to essentially box him out. You're not getting to my guy. I know where he's going to be because I know that Justin Herbert is so technically sound, and Slater just runs him right by. It's fantastic technique. Love the way that Rashawn Slater attacks this one. It's just, it's easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Just make contact, run you right by. The other thing I actually wanted to talk about here is actually the tight ends. You see the Chargers keep in 7 bodies to protect, this time with Donald Parham and Steven Anderson. So what you'll see is initially they will go double team the opposite edge rusher from Rashawn Slater, right? Standard stuff. When you max protect, you generally have double teams. Michael Schofield, Storm Norton double teaming up there. And then you have Corey Linsley, Matt Fyler, Rashawn Slater one-on-one, and then Donald Parham, Steven Anderson on a double team. But Donald Parham makes a great read of the situation. He's helping out Steven Anderson, and then he's going to go pick up Devin Bush on a delayed blitz. It's fantastic stuff all around. You see Storm Norton coming over to check in on as well. This kind of stuff, this kind of adjustments that you see by Fyler, by Slater, by Parham, by Norton, we just didn't see it last year, right? Like there was no adjusting, there was no problem solving. And I think that really kind of shows in this play. So great stuff all around, including by Justin Herbert. All right, the next play here is going to be this laser beam from Herbert to Keenan Allen. Just an incredible throw into the tiniest of windows on third down. I think it was 3rd and 13. They ended up picking like 20 yards up on this play. Just a crazy throw. So just because of the throw is amazing, and I love this angle of it, I'm going to show it again, and then we'll dive into the blocking of it. All right, so one more time here. Just incredible. Just boom, boom. Just, oh man, it's beautiful. Herbert was insane on Monday. Like we just recorded our preview episode, Broncos preview episode, which I hope you have listened to by now. I think this was Justin Herbert's best game of his career. Period. End. Like I'm just my opinion. I think the way that he placed the ball and layered the ball in this level in all the different shot plays that they called, it was the best game of his career. Adding in the rushing attack, or what he did running the ball as well. To me, this was Herbert's best game. This is an offensive line breakdown. Let's get back to it. Gotta show love to the Hogs, of course. All right, so this is pretty standard look there in 13 personnel with the tight end Jared Cook. Essentially, what happens here. Again, this is one of the few matchups that you see with Slater and Alex Highsmith. You'll see another matchup with Fyler and Cam Hayward. And this is something that we've seen the Chargers do quite a bit. And Austin Eckler here, I love this. It helps your tackles out. And also you see Jared Cook helping his tackle out with a chip and release. Eckler is just going to be there and make sure that Alex Highsmith does not turn a corner. Okay, like that's why you have the running back do that little delayed route. And then again, that's why you have Jared Cook chipping and then releasing. So you get essentially 2 chips on each side. I personally don't think that Rashawn Slater needs this kind of help anymore, but I appreciate the thought. So what this chip is going to do from Austin Eckler is going to force Highsmith to go back inside. He chooses to do a spin on this particular play, and Rashawn Slater swallows it up and just says, nope, you're not doing that. But what I love here is the way that Slater, Fyler, and Linsley are communicating this play. You see this time and time again. Those 3 have such good synergy, and some of that is going towards Michael Schofield as well, who is one-on-one in this situation and does a really good job too. But to me, this play is about the left side, and it's about Corey Linsley, right? So you have the spin move. Slater's a tad late, but Fyler is right there to help him out. And Fyler is doing his thing against Cam Hayward. And then Corey, it's just like a pass off and a pass off. It's so good. The communication and the synergy it's done at such a high level. This trio is fantastic. And look at this pocket from Justin Herbert. Really good job by Schofield in a one-on-one situation. Really good job with with Storm Norton as well. Great scheme, great protection plan. You get the 2 chips on each side. It's just fantastic. You didn't see this kind of stuff last year. All right, next play here. This is going to be another counter play. It's just the same exact thing, except done to the opposite side. Okay. You'll see the same exact action. This time it's Schofield and Anderson who get to pull. And the defense doesn't have enough bodies here. So I feel like Schofield could have gone up to the secondary member there, but Steven Anderson does a fantastic job. Again, you see Trey Mckitty in there as well. And what you get is a really easy 7-8 yard gain on an early down. I think this is actually second down. I think they actually got the first down here. But this just it makes things easier for your running backs because they're not getting hit behind the line of scrimmage or anywhere really close to it. Again, you have this great alleyway. Really enjoy this action and the emphasis on the counter game. So I didn't want to spend a whole lot of time on that particular play. Just wanted to show that, hey, we're going to run this counter one way, we're going to run it the other way. You can look at Rashawn Slater here too. Just a fantastic job working the double team with him and Trey Mckitty, and then Rashawn Slater is going to double back down there. So just a really high level play all around again. All right, this is another counter play. Yes, the Chargers really did run counter this many times. This particular instance, though, I love it because they do it out of shotgun. Okay, so they have a trips formation out to Justin Herbert's left. Mike Williams is on the right side. Okay, so what's going to happen, you have Jared Cook motioning down, and then Austin Eckler is going to fake towards his right side and then bring it back out to the left side. Okay, this time you only get the one puller, who is Michael Schofield, and he's going to root out 48. Does a really good job here. Okay, this is one of the plays that the broadcast highlighted, particularly because of the blocks of Matt Fyler and Rashawn Slater, who again are fantastic. And you look at them just root Cam Hayward out of this instance. Great synergy by the two of them. You seal off Cam Hayward, you seal off Devin Bush. Just a great job all around. The person who actually makes this block and makes this play, though, is Jalen Guyton, who strangely is improving quite a bit as a blocker. So what I say by he makes this play a touchdown, he's going to come in and he's going to block number 21 here, the safety. I think that's Trey Norwood, the rookie from Oklahoma, if I'm not mistaken. But Jalen Guyton is in the slot. He is the number 2 receiver on the left-hand side, and he's going to come in late. You're not going to see him right now, but he's going to come in right there, and he's going to take 21 out of this play. If he misses this block, it's still an effective gain, right? You still probably get 2, 3, 4 yards. But because of Jalen Guyton, this becomes a touchdown, right? And you could say the same thing about Jared Cook in this instance, who is not Trey Mckitty. He is not Steven Anderson. He is not Donald Parham. So I love this because you have 2 players on the team who are not traditionally looked at as good blockers in Jalen Guyton and Jared Cook. Mr. Can't catch the ball, Jared Cook, but that's another issue for another day. But watch Cook on this play too. He's going to take out Joe Schobert and just do enough to make sure that Austin Eckler has the time to get by, and it's a touchdown. So that's 3 different counters, right? Like you do it out of a heavy personnel, 2 tight ends set, tons of bodies in there, and you just jumble it all up. Then they do it out of shotgun too. And it's just a different way to create some easy looks, give more efficiency to your rushing attack. And like I said, this allows them to do more creative things in terms of run pass option looks, in terms of play action looks. So we all need to kind of take a step back and realize that every single team adds stuff every single week, especially after the bye week. You add stuff. So the Chargers rushing attack, it's a lot of outside zone at this point. It's a lot of duo inside zone. And now we're seeing a lot of counters. We're seeing a lot of RPOs. So they are building and stacking things up, and it's just really fun to watch. All right, the next play here, it is going to be the 4th down attempt. I wanted to show this because Brandon Staley was talking about it. I was talking about this too. Everybody was clamoring for a quarterback sneak here. As you can see, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they mash it all up too. So this is an 8-man box. You have 8 blockers. Then you have Justin Herbert. So you have 8 on 8. So if this were a shorter 4th and 1, sure, you can take your chances with the quarterback sneak. I would not have called this in this instance. It was a long 1 yard. And so because you have a defensive tackle and another defensive tackle in the A gaps, I think that's a bad look for a quarterback sneak, right? Like I think ideally in this instance, you see a counter, you see duo, you see just a different play. I don't love the play that they do actually call here. This is definitely something that I did not love that Joe Lombardi did, because you're going 8-on-8 against the Pittsburgh Steelers, even without TJ Watt. It's just a tough play to do. So essentially what happens here, everybody on the left side, including the tight ends, are all going to block down. Okay, so you see Corey Lindsey right off the bat. He goes to 96. Fyler goes to 93. Slater goes down. And then these tight ends are both going down. But look at Senio Clemente. He didn't get the memo. He was late out of his stance. And so 93, Joe Schobert, is going to make this play rather easily. Okay, so this is unfortunately just a miscommunication with a backup player who's not really been on the field a whole lot in this game. I think he only had 4 snaps. But what you see, it's a hat on a hat. Everybody blocks down. It's a pretty simple concept. Again, if Clemente makes this block, then it probably works, but he didn't, right? And so what Brandon Staley said today is that if Clemente makes that block, then ideally you give Eckler a lane to bounce it to the outside, which you can kind of see developing with the 2 tight ends, right? You can see that lane out there if Clemente is able to get outside, but unfortunately it just didn't work. So fine with them not doing quarterback sneak, because you have the Steelers, 2 Steelers kind of mashing that up. Really would have loved to see them pivot out of this, call timeout, checked to something different, even punt the ball at this point. Just did not love this play call. I'm fine with going for it. You know, the math was checked out. It was a strong go according to Ben Baldwin's model. That's all fine. To me, I just didn't love this play call. Would have liked to see a bootleg, an RPO, a counter, something just to make the defense work, because you have 8-on-8. They all know what's coming. So I didn't like this one at all. All right, last play here. It's just the game winner. Just had to talk about Austin Eckler, because this really was the blitz pickup of the year. Like, this is just such a high level play by Austin Eckler. Great finish by Mike Williams too. Great play by Justin Herbert. Just fantastic all around. But I wanted to go back and talk about what exactly happens here on this play. So the Steelers are going to rush 4, and then they're going to bring a slot blitz from the left side. So Justin Herbert said that this play had been building and building throughout. And I love right away, you can see Austin Eckler looking left. He knows where the blitz is going to come from, and he just goes and hammers this guy. Just upends him. This is picking up blitzes at the highest level. You cannot do it better than that. Outside of Austin Eckler, who I did want to mostly focus in on him, I think this also paints another good picture for Matt Fyler. He does a really good job taking on a bull rush from Cam Hayward. Michael Schofield, good job on number 95. Storm Norton, who had a rough day against Alex Highsmith, did a good job against Alex Highsmith on this particular play. But this is all about Austin Eckler, man, and he just does a fantastic job. Great decision by Justin Herbert to throw this ball to Mike Williams. If you watched any of the other quarterback breakdowns, you know, this is just, it's a high-level play from Eckler, from Herbert, and then it's a great finish by Mr. Mike Williams. And I love the throw here at the end. I didn't know Mike Williams was left-handed until this, but just a really cool throw. So that's going to do it for me today. Hopefully you guys learned a little bit here. I am really excited about this Chargers run game. I mentioned on the preview show today, like they're really a high-level right tackle and a second running back away from having a great offense. I think right now they are playing at such a high level. I know everybody is kind of sick of the offense because they like the deep shots. They're putting up points. They're moving the ball. Like, the efficiency is insane from this team right now. So that being said, like, I think they are right tackle away, running back away. They need a legitimate speed option receiver as opposed to what they're getting from Jalen Guyton right now. But that's another story for another day. So again, hopefully you learned something. Please like the video, comment, and of course, subscribe to the channel. And by the time that you will be watching this, Thanksgiving will be over. So I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving, ate some good food, watched some good football, and bolt up, guys. We'll see you next time.